Hey everyone, welcome back to Learning to Be Prepared. Today I just want to take a moment and show you my Altoids tin. This is not a survival tin, it's just a tin with some items in it that if I am unable to carry my EDC backpack with me, I can take this out and slip it into my pocket. So I don't have anything on the outside of this can. Everything that I've done to the tin is pretty much going to be on the inside. I've adopted some of the things that the Urban Prepper has presented in his tin, and also some tins that I've seen on YouTube from other users. So I appreciate everybody posting there so they could give me some ideas on how to set mine up. When I first opened up the tin, what I did is I took some electrical tape and I made a small baggie by cutting one down. And I use this electrical tape along the bottom here, and I taped it in there so that it makes a hinge motion. By doing that, it allows me to store a few other things behind there as well without them falling out. Inside this little baggie, I keep a razor blade, and I keep the little wrapper on it just for a little bit of protection. I keep 2 safety pins. This one here, I've wrapped a little bit of thread around. One paper clip. And I keep an assortment of little buttons here. I have 3 of them. This way, if I need to put a quick button on, I'll be able to do so. And believe it or not, that has happened to me at work where I have had a suit on and a button has come loose or popped off, so it's kind of nice to have those. Behind there, I have just 2 Band-Aids, nothing special. And then I'm going to raise this up a little so I can show you what I have on the back of there. On the very back, underneath this little tape, I have 2 straight pins to be able to use for the thread. Next, I have a nano light that's made by Streamlight. It's very small, but it does give a little bit of light. So again, this is all I have on me. There you go. Here I have a little whistle. I bought this whistle from Harbor Freight. It was only 99 cents, but it works quite well and it's very light. So I put that in here. The next thing that I did here is I took a package of earplugs. I squeezed the air out, wrapped them up with electrical tape, and that way if I need to take a nap somewhere, or if I go into a library and I want to read, and even though it should be quiet, there's usually always a little bit of background noise, so I have these. This is going to be the pin that I actually usually keep this on my keychain. I actually bought it to keep in this tin, but I found that I use it so much that I like to keep it on my keychain. This pin, when you open it up, folds out into a full-size pin. These are $10 at LA Police Gear. Okay. I keep a small mini Bic lighter. Here I keep the Leatherman Micra. I like this little light because this little multi-tool, because it's quite small, but yet it gives you some options to have inside your tin can. The main option I like about it is I have some scissors here, and on the back, on the first side, it gives you a pair of tweezers. It gives you a little screwdriver, a bottle opener, and a little bit smaller screwdriver. On the opposite side, it's going to give you a file, another screwdriver, and then a small blade. So that is Leatherman Micra. And I believe that runs about $20 from LA Police Gear. Next, I keep up a folded up $1 bill. I like to have this for vending machines. Keep a small can opener, only because sometimes I do take can items to work and I don't always have a can opener in my cooler. So if I ever needed to, at least this is with me. But I'm not the best at using one of these. And from the videos I've seen of other people using them, they're not always the quickest way to open up a can. But this is one of those items that I need to spend some time with to get a hang of using. Okay, so the next thing I did is I have some mini Altoids. Now, the reason I keep these in here is that hopefully this will never happen, but if I did have to rely upon this little Altoids tin to get me through a situation, I wanted to have some Altoids in there due to the fact that when you have a medical test at the hospital done, sometimes you can't eat after midnight, but you can eat a quick mint and the mint will subdue your appetite a little bit. So my thinking process was, if I had a few of those mini Altoids in this little tin, if the tin was all that I had on me and I had to rely upon that through emergency situation and I was pretty hungry, if I ate one of those mints, hopefully it would subdue my appetite enough to help me to not think about food quite as much. So that's why I put those in there. The next item that I have in here is just a small roll of tape. This is only going to be about 1 to 2 feet, but I like to have that in there. Next item is a little knife made by CRKT. It's pretty much a little straight knife, but it's small and it's compact and it's a little bit sturdier than the one on the Leatherman multi-tool. And I do go ahead and keep this inside the case just so that I don't stick my hand in the tin can and cut myself. Next item I have in here are 2 sheets of the Write in the Rain paper. And what I did is I just folded those over. And that works really well with the pen that I have in there. In the bottom of that, I taped 4 quarters. And the reason I keep those 4 quarters in there is that several months ago, I had some visitors from out of town and we went to a restaurant where they had parking meters. And I had absolutely no change on me. And it was very difficult to find a store to run in and get quarters for the meters. So now I keep 4 of them with me. Along the edge, I also have a little bit of electrical tape. And that works for the purpose of helping to keep this sealed just a little bit, help keep moisture out. Also, if I did need a little bit of tape beyond the roll here, at least I have a little bit of extra I could try to use for that as well. Okay guys, that's everything that I have in this little Altoids tin. I hope it gives you some ideas in case you would like to put one together yourself. Alright, have a great night guys.